And here we have him, Andrew Carrazzo. How are you, mate?
I'm bloody good. How you boys going? Yeah, I'm awesome.
Pleasure to see you. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to bloody be here.
Yeah.
So we got to have dinner with the great man
Yeah,
himself.
we got to have dinner and a beer. We had a bit of a chat. Yeah.
We did.
It was awesome.
Was it awesome for you? Or
It's definitely awesome for us. Yeah. So this is episode
44.
44, of course. 44. Nah. I could have forgotten. It's 44.
Yeah.
So there's only one man we can get. Harry Madden.
Harry Madden was obviously busy.
So we got Andrew Carrazzo
Andrew
himself.
Carrazzo, and it's a pleasure joining the Jumper Punch. So, first thing I'm going to talk about is your time at Carlton, of course, yeah?
Yep.
Of course, or else. But you did start somewhere else, huh? You started at Geelong. They kind of like stole you away. They just swept the carpet under your feet, didn't they?
They did. Yeah. No, I was training with the Blues for a couple of months before the rookie draft, and then the Cats picked me. And then
Were you spewing?
Yeah, I was.
You're a big Carlton
I was a
supporter.
big, and still am.
Yeah,
but big Carlton fan then, and wanted to stay, but didn't work out. So got a couple of years down there, and they obviously struggled a little bit after I left. But, 3 flags. But no, I got to where I wanted to be eventually.
Yeah, of course you did.
Well, he played 194 games for the Blues. He kicked 48 goals in your career.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot when you say 48. But
What does
one every what's that? One every 4 games.
4 games?
Not
Did
bad.
it feel like a lot? Or?
No, I didn't. I didn't feel like I kicked one every 4 games.
Well, the best goal he ever kicked was the one against Essendon.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you a bit of footage about that.
All right, we'll put that up on the screen. But you have a look at this.
We'll give it back.
Okay, I don't know which one you're going to go with, yeah? All right, okay.
Yeah, you know the game.
You know this one.
This is one of those wish you could have back moments.
What's that about? You are pumped.
So we love the
Yeah.
we love that.
Nah, there was just me and
Stanton.
Brett Stanton were having a bit of argy-bargy before that, so no, I just wanted to remind him of what just happened.
And just let him know about the score.
Let him know about the score. So not one of my finest moments.
No,
but
we love it.
but that was a great moment. And we also love the one. Well, this is a special request of Paul, who couldn't be here tonight. But he did say you love that one.
Yeah, that was a really. Someone actually asked me about this today, funnily enough, but that was a special day because, we lost the last 3 years or 2 years in the finals.
Yeah.
I remember that morning. I woke up that morning and I was instantly nervous as soon as I woke up. So there was a lot of pressure on us, and we came out and played fantastic. And that goal was, I kicked a goal. Couple of minutes left.
Correct. I remember that.
I remember it like it was 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
The ball got kicked out, and I saw up the field that we had like 2 or 3 guys in a row, and I sprinted.
Go on your bike.
I sprinted. I remember Andy Walker marked it, and he turned. He was going to run into goal, and I was screamed at him to give it to me, and he gave it to me, and it was an absolute mongrel kick that went through. But I just the pressure release after that goal was like. It just felt great. So
that was fun.
No, it was awesome.
Nah, man, I can't even imagine, man. Well, tell me about because you played a couple of years for Geelong's reserves, yeah.
Yep.
Didn't get a break. They didn't give you a break. Who was coach at the time? Was it
Bomber Thompson?
Bomber Thompson. They didn't give you a break. Dog. Right. Then you come over. You come over to Carlton, right? So then you get that first game, which would have been in
2004.
2004.
Yep.
Later on in the year.
Second last game.
Tell me how they tell you that you got your first game. How did you feel? Like, what happens? When do you find out? Who tells you?
Well, Dennis Bagan told me.
Yeah. Does he tell you personally before?
Yeah, he told me personally.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember, funnily enough, I'd played 60 games in the twos before getting my foot. But that stuff doesn't happen anymore. You know what I mean? Guys,
not anymore. You play like 5. Not even a game. Mate,
that's
you get drafted and
you're straight in.
Yeah.
So like I had to played a lot in the twos
You
before I earned my spot.
Yeah.
But funnily enough, like halfway through that year, I'd pretty much given up hope that I was going to play.
Yeah.
And
did you?
Yeah, because I'd tried so hard and played really well at Geelong and just hadn't got a look in. And then it was almost like as soon as I stopped caring, I started doing really well.
Yeah.
So to get and the fact that I knew that I pretty much had one chance. That was it. Like if I played like dog shit in that first game,
don't know
that was it. I was
that was
done.
it, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to be a Sparky or a Chippy or whatever.
That's right. That's
4
right.
weeks later. So you know.
Who did you get brought in for? Was it for an injury?
That's a really good question. I remember it was the last ever game at Princess Park against Melbourne.
Oh, was that the game?
That was the game.
Yeah.
No.
Nah.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. That was the next year. The next year we played
Correct.
the last game.
Correct.
I'll play
But yeah,
that,
my first game was at Princess Park
At least you got to-
against Melbourne. We had a good win.
Yeah.
And then won the next week again. So
And tell me your first like kick, or did you kick a goal that game?
I didn't kick a goal that game. My first kick was an absolute mongrel. I remember I was playing back line, back pocket. Matty Lappin said to me before the game, Skinny said, if I get it early, come past, I'll give it to you. Just to sort of get me in the game.
yeah.
And I remember it was maybe like 10 minutes into the game. He got the ball and he handballed back to me, and all I could think of in my head was, get this thing as far away from me as possible. And I was half back, and I tried to roost it as far as I could, and it just dribbled along the ground.
Far out.
And then I was playing with Aaron Davey. I remember just
Oh my
thinking, I've
God.
got to get back to him straight
Oh my
away.
God.
So I was just panicked. But nah, not a very memorable first kick.
Well, it's a memorable.
It was a memorable game.
Well, you got to
memorable-
play for your boyhood club, so.
And that's
Yeah,
the
it
other
was
thing.
amazing.
And the old man would have been wrapped
Yeah. I mean,
because he's a big.
yeah.
He's
Mum-
massive, and then
yeah,
see
our
his
whole,
boy
our
play.
whole family. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was I'm sure that was a special day for mum and dad, and dad especially. You know, his
Yeah.
family history of coming
Another
from Carlton.
Italian playing for Carlton
And
as
that's
well.
it,
So.
another-
That's right. So I'm sure I actually have heard him say before, one game would have been enough. You know what I mean? That would have been.
It makes your parents proud.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course, man.
Far out, man. I wish I could play for Carlton. I wish
You
I
never-
could have.
There's still time, man. There's
Oh,
still
yeah,
time.
yeah, we've got a body like that. Yeah, it's special, mate.
That's it.
Oh,
That's
how
it.
forward.
Hardest role in the game.
Yeah, that's
talking
right.
about
That's
before,
right.
but yeah.
You, I was going to say, after you played that game, you were saying that you only ever got dropped once, didn't you? After that,
Yes.
Yeah, that was something I was proud of.
I reckon because you were rookie, weren't you? Rookie at
Yep.
Geelong, rookie at Carlton.
Yeah.
So when you're a rookie, man, I reckon you don't know what's happening next year, do you?
You don't know what's happening next week.
You never know
You
what's
know what I
happening.
mean? Like-
Yeah, that's right.
Because you get a 1 year contract, though. Is it one? or
Yeah,
did you
yeah,
get
yeah.
two?
No, one. My first 5 contracts were 1 year.
So you're living on edge.
You are, yeah. You're playing for your survival. So
It makes it does it make you play better?
absolutely.
I've always had the theory that 1 year that's it could be it.
I reckon
after
some
one
people-
last game, yeah.
And it's
Could get
a,
injured and
it's a
that's
funny
it.
thing. Like I reckon, like I had longer term deals as my career went on.
Yeah.
But then I think towards the end, I feel like 1 year deals would have been better because
yeah.
it keeps you sharp,
Drive,
keeps the drive
yeah,
there.
Of course. Yeah.
So-
That's what you see with a lot of players these
Yeah,
days.
they're giving that 1
I feel
year.
like Matt Kennedy was, played 1 year, but he's just playing better.
He's
and
hungry.
better.
100%,
Yeah, super
man.
hungry.
So,
So,
yeah, no. There's 5 contracts.
Yeah, 1 year. But the rookie, man, like
Yeah,
that's
I know.
tough, man. Like even to get drafted.
But even back then, rookies were different.
Yeah.
Like now, if you're a rookie, you're
Yeah.
treated like you're on the list.
Yeah.
When I started, you were like a leper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a no one. You're basically a nobody.
Is that
We
ever-
used to train.
Yeah.
You would be off to the side doing like
So you wouldn't
skills by
train
yourself.
with the main
No.
group?
Oh,
And
wow.
then if they were short on numbers, they would
Then
bring
you
you
come
in.
in.
Oh wow.
So it was completely different to now. Completely
Yeah,
different.
because now that's right. The rookie.
They're an asset. They need
Well, the
them.
VFL nearly trained with all the AFL.
That's
guys.
right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
So-
right. Wow. So you wouldn't play. So they would look at you like a little bit different, the senior blokes.
Absolutely, yeah.
So who was some of the senior players? If you don't want to tell us, don't tell us. That kind of look down at the rookies. Can you say anyone?
I mean, when I first started as a rookie, like the club, the club wasn't that successful. Like they'd come
Yeah.
out of that successful
Yeah,
era, but like
tough era.
the guys who were still there, like Cooter and Andy McKay and Camporelli, like they were great people.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean. That just wasn't their style.
They'd be
like,
ready to take you under
That's
the wing.
right.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and Campo was
100%.
like that with me. Like,
Yeah.
he was great. He was
Yeah.
my first role model, really, when I got to the club. So
Campo was?
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Good Italian boy too.
That's
huh?
right. Looking after
Campo
the
Reale.
Capriali, that's it, Capriali.
Good winger, 1 year.
Oh, he was a star.
One of my questions is, who was your favourite player to play with? I know there's maybe a whole host, but
To play with
Yeah.
across my whole career.
yeah.
I mean, lining up next to Juddy was pretty special
That's what I was going to allude to. I thought it might be
because
Judd.
playing against him, he was terrifying.
You
Right?
don't want to be on him.
Like, there's like players who can physically hurt you, but then there's players who can completely embarrass you. And he was like that, playing against him. You just felt helpless. And so, like, when he came to Carlton, just to look across and be like,
That's Johnny.
he's on our team.
He's on our team.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that was
Because
pretty cool.
he mentally gets in your head.
Absolutely.
Player.
You feel helpless when you're playing against him, even at training.
Did you?
Yeah.
So he come over in what 08?
Oh, wait, yeah.
And you played him before. You played on him or close
Against
to him.
Played against him, yeah.
You
yeah.
played.
Yeah.
What, man on man?
I don't think I ever tagged him or played
Alright.
against him like that. I just wasn't
How'd you
playing
go?
him. I remember we played West Coast over there.
Yeah.
It was in one of Dennis's years. I remember we had this 06.
06,
Yeah.
Fuck, that's when they won
Subiaco.
the flag, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember we had this elaborate plan that we were gonna triple team him. It was
Yeah.
like someone was gonna be on him, and then a half forward was gonna come up, and then the winger was gonna sit back waiting for him to come through if he got through. And I remember Dennis came in at quarter time and ripped his paper in half and said, "This is the plan we had for Chris Judd." Because he was unstoppable.
Too good.
He was too good. You just
Too good.
couldn't touch him.
Like
So,
a wizard.
yeah, he was. That's what he was like.
I likened him to Roger Federer in the tennis. He's got everything.
Yeah.
How can you stop him?
And
He's
he's
like God.
Yeah.
And you know, he was Jesus at Carlton.
No,
So yeah.
when he come over, man. Oh, so he comes over 208. You win the best and fairest.
B&F, yeah,
207,
207, yeah, 27.
You and Juddy, you come on. I'm thinking this is how good is this? I'm in the B&F now. Juddy's next to me here.
Yeah, we had a monopoly on it for a while after that.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. I mean, at that stage, we'd had a few years where like we weren't great. So like for him to come, it was like
it was huge.
It
at
made
the
us a
time,
serious
massive.
club.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just a different.
I reckon it was huge, man. I don't care. Like people go, oh, who won the trade and all
Both
that.
teams did, I think.
You know, at the end of the day, they hear, oh, Kennedy played for like 15 years. Of course he played for 15 years. He was like 15
was
years
18.
old. Like, of
That's
course
right.
he's going to play for
That's
15
right.
years, you know.
Well,
But
I think it worked for both teams.
when Juddy
You know
come
what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because Judd did get us to. Well, what did he get us to? The prelim.
we made a second week into the
Second
final.
week, yeah, against the West Coast.
But it was more than that. It was like,
Of course,
it was like what he brought to the club, like
definitely.
professionalism.
I was going to
and-
ask you, how about his professionalism,
Everyone
the way he
says
goes
that.
about
He
it,
was obsessed.
like even off the field, like
Obsessed,
how,
yeah. Like he, you know, like I'd never heard of anyone spending their own money like outside of the club to do things.
yeah,
And then-
because he used to do all that for his body and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but like,
Wow,
like
yeah.
seeing like biomechanists and
Yeah.
like, and I'm like, oh, how much does that cost you? It's like, oh, you know, it's like
busy
$400 or
ball.
$500 every
Busy
time
ball.
I see them.
Busy
See?
ball.
But
Pay for it.
he instilled professionalism
That's right.
in everyone.
Everyone, that's
because
right.
you go, oh, I want to be like him.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get to, even if I was like half of that level.
Yeah, you see that obsession, you know
Yeah,
what I
of
mean, and then
course,
everyone
yeah.
learns from that.
Even
so.
if one person, like, all of a sudden elevates like he did, I mean, you can't sit back and look like a banana back here, man. You have to try to keep up with these players.
Because
Yeah, no
if
choice,
he's
yeah.
next to you, you stand taller.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so, I also want to ask you, away from Judd, but the captaincy. So it was you, Nick Dygan and Murphy? No.
Might have been me, Simo and Murphy, I reckon.
You, Simo and Murphy, and yeah, it was, yeah, so, and all the players and the whole club, did they vote for that?
I don't know if the players voted. I mean, we used to vote every year on leadership group and stuff.
Yeah.
But so I don't know if the players voted on captain.
Yeah.
I don't think.
But did you want to be captain?
I did. Yeah, for sure I did. Yeah.
You felt like you're like that leader, that type.
Yeah.
That-
But like my body was just starting to fail me then.
Yeah.
And the year when I was a chance to get it, like the previous year, I think I'd only played 9 games or something. I had Achilles problems the whole year.
Yeah.
And I think the club probably looked at me and said, well, if they make me captain,
You're captain. How
and
long
I,
are you gonna
and,
be
and,
there
I- and I
for?
played 10 or 12 games, that's not really what they need.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in the end, I was more than happy to support Murph and be there
And-
for him.
yeah.
But at the time, like, it would have been a great.
How did you feel about Murphy getting the captaincy? Because he got it at, how old was he?
He would have been in his mid
25?
20s.
25?
Yeah,
25,
would have been
yeah.
mid 20s.
Would you have thought that Cade would have got it over Murphy, or did
Not
it really
necessarily.
matter?
Not necessarily.
Yeah?
It didn't really matter. Like, yeah. I mean, I was, like I said, I would have loved to have gotten it.
But just the body let you down.
But just like, and even
It is what it
even
is.
in myself, I just felt like I had that apprehension. Like,
Yeah.
what if I what if I can't play? Like, you know, it doesn't
Yeah,
look good for the club.
And you knew that they were going to play, you know.
Yeah, and I was, you know, fully behind Murph and supporting him. So
100%. Because
But you did.
Yeah, go.
No, I was going to say you did captain a game, didn't you?
Yeah, a few times. Like
Yeah.
even there was times when Juddy missed games.
you filled
I got
in as
to do it.
captain.
Yeah, that was awesome. So yeah, that was a cool feeling. I think I got to captain in my 150th maybe.
150th,
Yeah.
Carrazzo.
Here he is.
What are you doing
Here he
here?
is.
One of the all-time favourites, the hard throb of the AFL. The guy should have been a bloody, should have been a model.
Unreal.
Thanks, Ange.
You come along and
He's a good looker.
So what's going on here? What's been happening?
Wogs turn the cogs, don't they say
Wogs
that?
turn the cogs.
You like
Hey,
that?
listen. You know, of course you know this bloke. When's the first time you saw this bloke, you reckon?
Oh, now, like,
When I walked in.
No,
What's
before
that?
that.
It's like
Tell me if you
years
remember
on the
this.
ground.
I'm going to put this up on the
Years ago.
screen. Can you remember this picture?
Look at that. Oh, see, what are you zooming in on yourself?
That's you, is it?
That's me.
Awesome.
It was a pracky game. It was like a pre-season practice game.
With
And you were
96.
forced? Were you forced?
No, what a coup, they didn't want you. That's fantastic.
Look at you, man. Because
What
you
was
had
that?
96.
96.
Was that actually 96?
Yeah.
So just before
So
I
96.
broke down.
Oh, that's what it said on the thing, 96.
Yeah, it makes sense.
How old were you then?
13. I'd have been 12.
Wow.
Yeah,
you would have been
12.
like that
24.
meeting, because they were premiership, they were the
You
premiership team.
don't look a kilo heavier.
I was playing at about 87, 88, and I'm probably 94, 5.
Really? No, don't look it.
You don't look that.
Yeah.
Because you're tall.
Jeans. The jeans.
Yeah. And the longer hair.
I
Yeah.
know,
No,
yeah,
that's
I
unreal.
don't look that.
That's unreal. That's unreal. That like I find that amazing when you know.
Back
you-
when they used to let people on the ground.
Well, first of all,
during
they let
games.
people on
Yeah.
the ground, but then you meet like one of your idols. Because as I said,
He
they would
wouldn't
have
have
just.
been. I was just there. It would have been
Mate, you just
The
closest one there.
premiership play. What are you talking
Yeah,
about
that's-
there?
just
And
something.
then-
They would just come up with 95.
95. How good?
They were heroes.
How good did we
Were you
feel?
at Carlton?
I was, yeah.
Massive,
Well,
yeah.
I wasn't. I was. Good and I were Collingwood.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, we know that one. You've told us that. You were
Love the
still,
guys.
you were still bloody Collingwood when you were playing for
We
Carlton.
were just having a go at Carlton.
Yeah, this cheer squad story I just recently heard.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
validate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, at the big park. And at the G. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's the best.
And then once I started playing senior footy, I moved away from the cheer squad.
After
Yeah,
a couple of years.
Yeah, so
I still find that I can't believe it. Like you
yeah.
go from there to there.
Have a clue. I was there with
Oh, yeah.
flags and chanting. It was awesome. It was awesome.
That's unreal. When did you finish? What year?
Oh, 02. So
Oh,
20
02.
years ago.
I
You finished?
15.
Well,
15
So we
years.
missed each other by 2 years. So I
Missed each
started
other for 2
at
years, yeah.
end of 03. I got to the club. So
You wouldn't have if Geelong didn't get you, but
that's right.
yeah.
Yeah, you
I
always
heard the
had a
story.
chance.
Don't worry, I heard the story. Well, keep going anyway. Love the
Thanks,
meal.
No worries, great
Hope you
man.
enjoyed the meal.
Oh, it was beautiful.
The meal's beautiful.
Get
and
down
North
here, people.
Seafood and
Please
Grill.
Yep, get down.
Yeah, that's it, get down.
Thanks, Ange.
Thanks, Al. That's a bit of spin out, yeah? You
No,
get
it's
to-
awesome. It's
you
beautiful.
get to see...
brings back some fond memories.
Childhood memories.
Because as we said, you were a massive like Carlton supporter, so you're like a big fan, man. So to meet like one of your idols when you were a kid, I was about to say this, you meet like one of your idols when you're a kid, and then the next thing you know, a few years later, you're at the club, man. How does that feel like?
It's a spin out. My earliest footy memory would be 95, I reckon, when they won the grand final.
I'll see you.
Going out in my front yard, practicing little Diesel Williams left foot dribble kicks along the ground.
That's right, he was doing that.
So yeah, to eventually get to the club was awesome. It was a spin out. Like it was surreal.
It would have been surreal.
It
yeah.
was surreal. Yeah.
It was surreal to
It
put
was-
on their jumper because, well, I don't know if not too many people, but or players, you know, how many get to the club they support, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, probably few and far between. So
when you went to Geelong, so you played in the reserves. Did you play against Carlton in reserves?
that's a good question. I don't know if Carl. I would have. Yeah, I would have for sure.
Oh, well, now you're not going to remember how it felt to play against the Blues.
No, it's not a memory I distinctly remember.
Yeah.
Actually, I do remember Ryan Houlihan playing in the twos one week when we played against him.
Oh.
But I don't remember it. I
Skill. It was skill.
remember my first car actually was my old man's car.
Yeah. What was it?
It was like a whole Commodore, like a VS Commodore or
VS,
something.
VS,
But I
sick.
had Carlton stickers on the
number
back,
plate.
on the number plate and across the back. And I remember it took someone probably like a year and a half at Geelong to realise it. They're like,
oh, you were driving there.
Carlton sticker on the back of your car.
That's unreal. That's unreal. You're driving there with the Carlton stickers on there. That's
crazy.
sick. Yeah. So tell me something else, right? That final against Essendon. Like how was that feeling? Like that you win by, what do we win by?
Yeah, it was a
Like
lot.
74,
60, 70 points, man.
Yeah,
How
it
was
was
that
awesome.
day there? Was that your first final?
No, so we played in finals with two.
We
was it
did.
the two because we lost to Sydney, lost
Correct,
to
at
Brisbane.
Brisbane.
That's right.
Yeah, but
Were you in the Brisbane game too?
yeah,
Oh, I was heartbroken.
What?
because we were miles in front of
How
them.
can
They
you
chose
be
us
up
hard.
that much there? You broke that. What was it, Bradshaw that come along in that
Yeah.
last quarter? I'm like, oh my
Yeah, I
God.
remember we just.
When
yeah,
you
we
went
just
in the
stopped.
free
My
quarter,
cousin and I were crying at our nonna's
Yeah.
place. We were like, I can't believe this has happened again.
you remember that game at three quarter time?
We were still in front, I think.
We were up by like 4 goals.
Yeah.
What's your mindset? You're like, do we just win? Because as a supporter, I'll be going, all right, let's just win this corner.
We just didn't have a winner's mentality then. Like
Yeah.
we just didn't have that mentality of a successful club.
Were you
know,
shocked to be in the finals?
Probably a little bit. I mean, we
Yeah.
played well, I remember, but yeah, I mean, we just weren't ready.
Yeah.
And then the next year we played better again.
Correct.
And we just got pipped by Sydney up
That's
there.
right.
I remember.
Yeah, I
That was a
remember.
good game.
We
That
travelled
was
up there
close,
for
man.
that.
Yeah.
Jared McVeigh decided to turn it on against us. I
Yeah.
remember that game.
But that Essendon game was
Essendon.
as a single game was probably my most memorable
Yeah,
game.
that was sick. That
Just
It was
because
like
just
94,000.
yeah, just the
Huge,
pressure of the
like,
day too. Remember, it was
yeah.
a really sunny day.
You don't want to lose that game.
No, it was.
And being a Carlton supporter as a kid,
Yeah,
you're going against Essendon. You hated them as a kid.
of course, yeah.
Who
for
do you
sure.
hate more, Collingwood or Essendon or Richmond? Or who do you hate more? Like I'm old
I don't
school.
Or maybe who did you hate when you were a
Oh,
kid?
Oh yeah, I obviously
when
don't
you're
hate
a kid.
anyone now, but I don't know. Essendon just used to have a special spitefulness
Yeah,
against them. I don't know
our
why.
generation.
Like,
Your generation.
I don't know why.
There's 10 years between us, but like it's I don't know why it's Essendon.
So we fast old school. It's Collingwood.
Collingwood.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I mean, I didn't grow up in that era of those
Yeah.
times when Carlton and Collingwood played in the
Yeah.
70s, but yeah, I don't know why the battles happened
I just don't
between Essendon. I
understand.
don't know if it was a 99 prelim or
Maybe,
something,
yeah.
or
Would have been the prelim.
Probably.
And
Our
also
parents would have
90
been. Our parents
Yeah.
would have instilled that in us.
yeah, probably.
93 too.
Yeah,
90, yeah. Far out, yeah. So I actually want to bring you back to a game against Collingwood when you shut down Pendlebury,
yep.
Oh yes.
2012. How did that feel like at that time? Like, I don't know, like because you
I was
shut
kind
down,
of-
because you was up and about, you know.
Yeah.
They come off a flag 2 years before that, or 2010, you know, and you're coming up against a pretty damn good player.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably. I was at like I often think about it and say like, when you're young and inexperienced, you don't have that maturity level when you're
Of course.
playing.
Yeah,
And
of
then,
course.
but physically, you're strong and fast and
Yeah.
fit, and then you kind of reach your mid-20s where the two things meet.
Yeah.
Your maturity level and your experience
That's the
meets your
peak.
physical,
Yeah.
and that's where I was at then.
Yeah.
I physically felt great out there, and
Yeah.
I mean that was a great game. Like I played fantastic that night.
Yeah.
And to do it against someone who I can't believe he's still playing.
Well, now he's playing 350
And
at this
he's
week
amazing.
at the time
He's
of
amazing,
recording. So.
just amazing.
Doing 350,
And
yeah.
I used to love playing against him, but he was so hard to play against, like so
Yeah.
challenging, so
He's got those hips and he's always got time. It feels
and
like
just runs and
all
runs
day,
and
yeah.
runs and runs and runs. You
But
just
you're a
don't
good
have that.
runner too.
I was a good runner, but not to that. Like he was
Yeah.
like
Next level.
outstanding.
And
Like,
coming off though, who's the hardest opponent you ever faced? Maybe on maybe a one-on-one, a whole match, or
Probably, I played on Dane Swan a couple of times, and when they were like Collingwood were flying. And he was like,
He
I
run everywhere.
felt helpless against him. Like
Dane Swan was a weird
He was
player,
incredible.
man. Like he didn't look like a footballer,
Yeah, but
but
he'd run you
he'd
into
tear
the
you
ground.
apart, wasn't he?
But he was fast, but very clever.
Yeah.
Like you could, if you took your eye, if I took my eyes off
He's
him,
gone.
he was gone.
You
Like
lose
he was
it.
gone.
Yeah.
And then you use all of your energy to get back to him, and then when you finally get back to him, the
It's
ball comes and
all
you're
over.
stuffed.
It's all over. He's
So
gone.
he was probably the most difficult to play on because their team was great as well.
They were.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was
not the toughest, but the toughest opponent. You know what I mean? Like the mongrel of opponent, or that you were scared of. Not so much, but you can't get scared anymore because nothing happens on the ground. But
yeah, you don't really have that fear. But maybe my third last year, we played Fremantle over there, and I played on Nat 5. And he was like the first time really where like I played against someone where I was like, shit, he could like pick me up and like throw me if he wanted to. Like he was so much stronger than me. And so like, and as a part of a play, you have to work out ways
to beat
him anyway. You stand off him, or you get dirty with him or whatever. But like that was the first time where I was like, just physically, I'm like, huge, I couldn't do anything with him.
Like out of your depth.
Physically, but like then mentally, you're like, I got to try and outsmart him somehow. But
did you like coming up, like when you knew you were coming up, like the 5, the Pendlebury, like did you enjoy that challenge? Did you want that challenge?
Of course, of course.
You want that challenge.
It was a test. It was like a test of me as a player and my personality and competitiveness. I played my best when I played against players like that. Like if I was just like to go out there and just chase the footy, and I just didn't play as well as them when I had to play against those guys. So
they bring you up to another level.
They do. They absolutely.
Like you got to be switched on the whole.
Like what I said about Pendlebury.
Yeah.
He used to bring the best out in me because I knew that like if I didn't do that, I was going to get embarrassed. So
how much study do you do on your opponent?
Lots and lots.
Like what do you do? What are you doing? Do you look videos?
Video. You're looking
stats.
At you're looking at tendencies. You're looking at like where they get the footy. You're
left, right. Do they go
left and right? Like what part of the ground? What do they? Like I was around the stoppages all the time, so you're looking at
how you can beat them.
Yeah, like stoppages. Do they get the ball from in front? Do they push their man under the ball? Like
so too. They're like he always goes. He mainly kicks off his left or something.
Correct,
So you start like planning for that.
You're playing his left side, or even I like to try them on. I would always try them on early. So like I would go to them, but then when the ball was there, I would go and try and get it. I like to think that 3/4 of the way through the first quarter, they look up at the scoreboard after a goal and they go, shit, he's had 9 touches and I've had 3. Sometimes that side in a player's mind, they go, well, should I better if I keep going for it and he keeps getting it, So like I used to try them on early, and sometimes that backfired,
of course,
because like you're playing against great players and they're especially guys that are super smart. They expose that. But that was what I used to try and do, like try them on as much as I could early.
What's the dirty tactics you do? Like what is there any? Pinchy pinch or like remember the old who did that? Who did the pinchy?
Craig Kelly.
Craig Kelly.
That's
it.
Crowley used to get after him like that as well.
There's no doubt, like towards the end of my career when my running started to slow down and my body was failing me, I definitely had to resort to a few dirty tactics, which I wasn't proud of. But
that's all right.
Dark arts.
That's right. You do whatever you can
it's
to
like the
survive.
Italian soccer team, mate. You got to do the dark arts as well.
That's right.
That's it.
It works for you. It works
you
for you.
You do anything you can to win the game. No, 100%.
Well, he was saying before. Well, we were having a chat about family before. And you've got triplets, and you've got
another daughter. Yeah.
What did you do wrong in your life?
I've been punished for something, and still being punished.
How is life with 4 daughters?
Oh, it's amazing.
Beautiful.
It's the best. It's the girls are beautiful. They're
and they play footy.
2 of the girls play footy.
Yeah.
They're
it
playing.
Could be father-daughter.
Maybe. Yeah, they're both showing lots of promise. So we'll see. They just
have some Carrazzos in the AFL women's in about.
Seems like heard Campo's daughters are.
I think Andrew McKay's got a daughter.
Yeah, Abby plays now.
Yeah, she does.
But wait, Campo?
Yeah.
My wife
he's got 2 sons.
He's got 2 sons.
And
a daughter?
I don't know.
I thought his daughter was
a daughter.
Just sons, no daughter.
And apparently they're
going to be
good footballers.
Yeah.
They're
we
like
could have
as well.
Camporelli running down the wings. Imagine that.
Oh, that would be awesome. Anything like their old man, that'd be.
How is that like seeing them go out there and play football?
Oh, it's awesome. It's great because they're so malleable. They don't have any bad habits. So you can teach them. I can teach them
Do you coach it? Not do you coach them, do you?
I help out where I can. I don't officially coach.
Yeah, no, of course.
So, but yeah, it's awesome. It's
Do
great.
they listen to it, or they go like, Dad, you know, like, do you go, hey, I used to play for Carlton now. Listen
I don't pull that. I don't pull that card very often. But no, they do listen. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I love watching
That's
it.
fantastic. Well, you told us a story before. I don't know if you want to share it, but I thought that was quite funny. About your wife running onto the field.
Yeah, we had a memorable incident in Grace played last year. So in her first game, I gave her some instruction about how she should be playing in the back line, and she took that instruction very.
She took it to the letter.
She very literally.
I like it.
Maybe under 10s footy.
Well, your instruction was to put your arm across.
I said put your arm. I said, you know, the kids in their team were not manning up properly.
That's right.
So I said, when you play in the back line, your arm across. This young kid, this is her first ever game. Kid she was playing against didn't like it. They had a bit of argy-bargy, and they're on the ground wrestling or whatever. And one of the team managers from the other team ran on the field and thought that my daughter Grace was the instigator, which, I mean, she may or may not have been.
That's
It's all
it.
part and parcel of the game, though. She wasn't doing anything dirty.
But yeah, he was pretty demonstrative to her, and she got pretty upset, and the siren went at 3/4 time, and I was deciding about whether I'd go over there and say something, and my wife took it upon herself to do it for her. So she ran across the oval, and
You had to join her.
I had to join her. I had no choice but to be a supportive husband.
Waved the flag and she protected the
Imagine we see the
family.
AFLW game. Some
Yeah,
guy
that's
clicks
it.
off, and your wife goes out there and you're following her around.
That's it.
It was amazing. It was great.
That's unreal. That's unreal. All right. Just quickly, superstitions. Did you have any superstitions? Or rituals? Players like that, I asked a few and they go, oh, it was a ritual, and I go, sure it was. Yeah.
Not really. Like, I used to, the same pair of jocks and all
Did
that
you do that
crap.
too?
I did for a while.
Stat for that. Like, how many people do that?
But I don't know.
Surely it doesn't work.
No, of course.
Of course it doesn't work.
But eventually,
My cousin loves that. Loves a superstition.
Yeah, I love it.
He loves it.
I just reached an age where I was like, I used to see, like, I used to feel sorry for Simo. Like, he had all of these little things that.
Oh, Simo was bad, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did lots of little things, and he had to be last out, and did
Yeah.
things with his socks and all sorts of things. But after a while, I realised, I'm the one who controls whether I play well or
Look,
not.
once you realise that, life's a lot better.
A lot easier,
Yeah.
but trust me, it's so hard it's so easy to fall into the trap of the superstitions.
It is.
Because when you play well and you go, oh shit, I ate that muesli bar at this time, and I walked into the medical room at this time, and
Well, you played with hula hoops, yeah?
yeah.
Apparently, he told us that it got to a stage where
You could see some guys who used to
He
control
was
them.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
He was
he was like that too.
Yeah,
But
he
some
was
guys
ridiculous.
that just used to control them.
Was
you
it
know.
was it Wigo or Houlihan that said that he used to run out like last always, right?
Hoopsy was always last, yeah.
Right, but then he reckons, I think Parkins once said to him, don't you ever run out last, and he used to run out first, and he goes, he used to be first so much that he used to run before the captain and everyone, then it got to the other extreme, And I think Wigo said that he would have to go run to the goal square, like, so he'd run out and then he'd have to go to the goal square before everyone got there. And I mean, these are nuts, but I can
It
understand.
actually is nuts, but it's so, like I said, it's so easy to fall into that trap.
Yeah.
Because you're looking for anything that's going to help
That's
you play
right.
well.
That's right.
And if you trick yourself into thinking that one thing works,
Yeah, that's right.
whatever.
That's
I know,
right.
it's so
And once you
stupid.
have a good game and you've done something,
Yeah, you wanna do it again.
It's never been like that in sport.
No.
No, I have. I'm
Have
like
you?
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah,
when I play cricket, I got to do this routine.
Nah, just get out
Or
there
else-
and play, mate.
or
If
else
you're
I
on, you're on. If you're
I
not,
agree
you're
with
not,
that.
man.
I
They're
agree
like,
with that.
seriously. The trip, the boat trip, we've got to ask him, because everyone,
So we've had everyone's
The
version.
booze cruise?
you can continue.
Hula Hoops told us he was the one who organised it.
He might have had something to do
I
with
reckon
it.
he had something to do with it, and he reckons the mistake was you haven't been drinking for a while and then you have this and you start drinking at like 10 o'clock in the morning. It was never going to work out.
I just remember when we were, the whole day was a disaster. Like everywhere we went, something happened. I remember we No, we like the cruise itself. Like they kicked us off after.
Yeah.
I think we were supposed to go for 3 hours, but it felt like we were on there for like 5 hours. And when they said we're going back, I remember like looking at my watch. I'm like, we were only on there for like an hour.
Yeah.
Like, and then we went somewhere else, and something happened, and then one of the ex-players had a place on Brunswick Street or something. Who was it? Someone had
Like a bar.
like a bar or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, and then they got us in, and
You finished
then we
off
torched that place, and then we
Oh,
went
yeah.
to the next place. It was
Mayhem.
It was absolute mayhem. And then even a couple, because it was like we finished for Christmas that day, and then I remember the next 2 days was like
The news was all
it
over
was
the news.
terrible.
It was
It
bad.
was terrible. Like
Because Sticks was president.
Sticks
huh?
went
What did
absolutely
he say?
nuts at us. He went nuts at us. I remember he asked. Yeah, no, that was, I remember he asked.
Poor little
Poor
boy.
Sticks. Yeah, I remember he asked us.
Because he's a boy's too.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. So I think
He would have understood it, but he got like,
That's right. I think I remember he saying like he was sort of looking for answers, and everyone was just sort of sheepish, just sitting in there like not saying anything. And I remember he asked Juddy, what were you thinking? Like, what were you thinking? And I remember Juddy said something like, honestly, at the time we were having a really good day. It was something stupid like that. But no, it wasn't great. But
I think he almost cost the Mars sponsorship.
well, really because of that.
I think so. I think it was at the time.
Yeah, it
like, he
was, yeah,
going,
yeah,
like,
'cause
"Hey, what are you
yeah,
doing?
yeah,
man?
that's
You're
right.
going to wreck everything, man." Because you weren't travelling that well anyway. Like
What
it
year was
wasn't.
it? I thought we were going like because we just got Brock McLean. I remember that.
No, I'm not sure. When did
2010?
Casbolt
We
get
were going
there?
okay.
2010?
Yeah.
2010.
So we were finals, but
Ratton was coach.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Radimus coach. Yeah.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
that. 'Cause-
Segue.
Yeah, segue.
Segue into
Brett
that.
Ratton. How'd you find your time under Brett Ratton? At the, you know.
Oh, I loved Rats. I played my best footy under him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a really good relationship when I was playing with him. Playing under him. Sorry. So yeah, I'm pumped to see
Doing well.
him
now.
doing well now. Like I think he
Like
deserves
all
it.
the lads like under him, you know, did they love him? Like most of them, majority.
I think when he was like when he was assistant coach, and then even when he first became senior coach, there wasn't a lot of pressure on us.
Yeah,
like because we
correct,
were a
yeah.
young team and we
Yeah.
come from a period where we'd done very poorly.
That's right.
And I think like when we started doing better, I think he started to feel that pressure a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe that reflected on the players.
Yeah.
But you know, his early time when he first took over as coach. He was fantastic. He was amazing, and I'm sure now he's coaching better now than
Oh yeah, he would have.
he ever
He would
was
have to be
now.
the second stint,
Like
yeah.
he's. I mean, everyone talks about his footy smarts, but it's like on another level. Like he's like talent ID, like being able to look at someone and say,
Yeah.
he can do this.
Yeah.
Like he used to
Yeah.
put guys in positions, and I'd be like, why are
What
we
are you
playing that
doing?
guy
Yeah.
there? And it would work invariably. So, but on a personal level, yeah, I always got along with him really well. Like he's a great
How did you and the other players feel like when he did get the sack? Like, were you shocked, or did you see it coming, or?
When did you see it?
I mean, I'm not sure if you remember at the time, but it was like everywhere in the media was
Yeah.
like Moldhouse to Carlton,
Correct, yeah.
Ratton, you know what I mean? Like, and
Because it happened.
But did you just read that?
it's everywhere.
Of course,
it's
so you
everywhere.
see that,
You
yeah.
see it.
Of
Whether
course
you
you
read it, it's
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
Every time you turn on the radio,
Yeah.
it's there. Every time you turn the TV on, it's there. So,
So earlier on in the year, because as supporters, I felt that his cards were already signed earlier on. I mean, and then I think you did well near the end of the year. You started like winning
we
a
started
bit.
red hot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you had like this lull period.
big through the middle, and then I think we came
And then you
okay.
finished off good.
Finished okay, yeah.
But I thought before you finished off good, to us it felt like his cards had already been signed and Malthouse had already been kind of...
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Which, yeah, upon reflection,
Did you feel that? Because Malthouse
Like-
talk, I'm telling you, was loud.
it was everywhere.
It was loud on the
And then we had,
outside.
Greg Swan was
Yeah,
CEO at the time,
yeah,
and he
yeah.
had connections to Mick. So, yeah, I mean, think in hindsight, it probably wasn't the best choice. And you see clubs now that do well, they stick by their coaches and support them, even when maybe they're going through tough periods. So.
I think that's what you got to do, man. You just got to stick by them for a while, man. Because there's always that.
Footy's such a different game to, I think, like other games like soccer or NBA and that. It's just, I don't know. I think because of the salary cap and you have to go to the draft and you have to build the team.
The rebuilding process
correct.
happens
It takes so long,
period
4
of
or
time.
5 years.
That's right.
You know, it can take up until now. Carlton now, like 7
you can
years,
see it
and
now,
you see
man.
it's coming to fruition that
Yeah,
something.
absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
That's really 2015. That's the big draft we did, yeah.
What? No, yeah.
Was it 15?
Yeah,
With
15.
Wiedering and all that.
Correct.
And it's 222 now, and they're all starting
And
to look
Sauce
like.
did say it'll take about 7 years
Yeah,
to come.
100%.
Yeah, well, you don't work out who you are as a player or
Of
a
course.
person until you're in your mid-20s.
Mid-20s,
You know what I mean?
Listen, as supporters, we expect you to come in as 18-year-old
And kill it. Hit the ground.
You're a supporter.
Everyone's
man.
Sam Walsh.
Like you
Everyone's
want-
Sam
yeah.
Walsh.
Yeah, everyone wants to be Sam
Everyone's
Walsh,
a Judd.
man.
No, that's
How
right.
Oh,
good's
wish.
Sam Walsh?
He's a star, yeah.
Like you've played in that sort of position, right? Like to see what he's come in at first year, second year, third year. Is that like it could be one of the best starts ever? I mean, Chris Judd will probably.
And to hold the level though, it's getting there
consistency,
and then
yeah.
consistently
Far out.
holding the level, which I think is amazing.
It's remarkable. Like, yeah.
He reminds me of a Chris Judd, maybe. Sorry to cut you off, but like off the field.
I look at him and I see Shane Crawford.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like a bit smaller,
Hard
but
worker.
super hard worker,
Gritty.
great runner,
Yeah.
and like sneaky tough.
Yeah.
Like that sometimes happens with great players, right? Their skill and their endurance, that's what stands out.
But then something else that comes out.
And Juddy was like that too.
Yeah.
But like, and Walsh is like that as well. That when it's their turn to go, they are tough. Like he goes back with the flight. He never takes like always has his head over the ball. Yeah. So he's a ripper.
The marking against it was a Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
We went back with a
Yeah.
fly.
They showed.
Yeah, I remember like before that he was playing on the wing, and
Yeah.
I'm like, he's just going to be like maybe outside sort of winger type, and then he does that, and you go, maybe not.
Yeah. That moment
there's a bit
there
more.
was a big moment.
A turning point
for
for him, for
I
sure.
think everyone looked at him a little bit different then, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And we like at the moment, like say you've seen us now this year.
11-5 at the time
11
of recording.
Yeah, 11-5 time recording. We've got some serious players there, haven't we?
12-5 after the weekend.
Yeah,
I hope so.
The big one, no,
Get your old mob.
Yeah.
Get your old. Get your old.
The Andy Carrazzo Cup this week.
It is. I never thought of it. Yes, we're going to name it.
Yeah.
The Carrazzo Club.
What do you
I
think,
love it.
mate? What do you think of the Blues this year?
They're going really well. I don't think they're quite ready yet. To be like a genuine premiership contender.
Yeah.
I just
You
think
reckon they're missing a little bit of experience? Like, that.
probably you've just got to go through the wars and the battles of
Yeah.
playing in big games, playing in finals.
Yeah.
So for some teams that's 1 year. For some teams it's
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
For Richmond it was like 3 or 4 years of
It was.
struggling and
It was.
losing, and then something
It was.
clicked. So they've got so much talent there. I think the biggest challenge for the club going forward is keeping everyone,
Yeah.
keeping all of those guys together.
Yeah, Mackay.
They
probably have to go on that Geelong type structure.
That's right, where everyone gets underpaid almost, and that's what
Well, if you want success,
you have to do that.
Yeah.
You have to. So,
and you know what? I don't know the players, but I think they've kind of got that mentality. I hope they have. They're kind of thinking like
It's not just me. I'm
they
big,
know
I'm-
it's
I'm-
hard.
They know their worth, but they know that they can
Yeah.
achieve success.
yeah, and
For
and having
years.
Bossy lead them is a cool thing too, because he came from a team that was the
Sustained
same
success.
thing.
It was the same one that they had
That's right.
some champions there, man. There's no
They
way
had
they all got
12
paid
A
their
graders.
worth there. No
Yeah.
way.
No, that's right.
Yeah. So you think we'll win the grand final now?
I cancelled my September holidays. Late September holidays.
He's got
too.
a box ready at the MCG.
No, man. Listen, I think that not that, mate. We make that top 4. Anything can happen.
You're
from
in the
there,
game,
man.
yeah, for sure.
You're in it, man. And I reckon teams are a little bit. They know, man. Like at times, Carlton can be scary. Sometimes I say when we play at our best this year, we
better
make
than
teams
anyone.
look silly.
They play a September brand of footy.
Yeah.
High pressure, lots of inside 50s.
Yeah, and
great
we got
midfield.
the big forwards
The
as
big
good
boys.
as you've
Yeah.
seen.
Oh,
like
they're
as
fantastic.
a pair, you know.
The thing that I love about them is how well they're playing together.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not stealing each other's thunder. You rarely see them getting in each other's way.
And
Even
I love
after
it.
one of them kicks a goal,
Well,
they get around
that's
each
what
other.
I've been saying,
and they smile. You know what I mean?
see a lot of players.
There's no envy between them.
Yeah, you see a lot of players, and you're right. The envy, like, oh, he kicked the goal.
Yeah.
I'm going to get one back or two, you know.
They rap for each other.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, they're
It's
sharing
very
the ball with
good.
each other.
You can see the
It's-
cultures there as well.
For sure.
That's important, man.
It's all about
That's
the culture, and you would know
important.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
In the
It's-
tough times, you know.
Yeah.
Because we went through some, you know, dark days.
Absolutely, and you know, you're pretty confident that those days are behind us now, and
I
the
think so.
club's got something that's going to be pretty good for a long time, hopefully. So
I think September, mate. It's going to be a big year this year for us.
Get the
man.
flares
I'm
out, fireworks
ready. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. All right. You got any more questions?
I don't know. Do you see any of the boys on and off the field? Off the field, sorry.
I'm not on the field anymore.
Yeah, no.
Well, you might play still.
No, not playing anymore. I still speak to a few of the boys. Speak to Andy Walker a fair bit. So
Yeah.
no, it's you these guys are like your brothers. Like, you know, you spend every day with them for
Went to war with
10
them.
years. That's right. So you're always going to have a special bond with them. So
That's the best part, you know, that team thing, you know, like in the dressing rooms. I know that playing the footy, of course, that's your best part, but you know that the mateship, you know.
absolutely, yeah. And that's the thing I miss most
Yeah.
from playing footy is
Yeah,
Taking
you
the
got
piss
to-
out of each other.
that's right.
shit talking. And
You
all
know,
that, yeah.
like there's always something funny happening.
Of
You know?
course, yeah.
And also just being in an elite environment, like where you're with 40 other guys who have that same elite mentality.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's very unique. You don't,
Nah, it's very
you know, you
hard.
go into business, you wouldn't get
Very
that.
hard
you know,
to
it's,
replicate.
It's very hard to
Yeah.
replicate. So,
Of course.
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
that's
it's special.
No.
Actually got one. The umpiring.
Yeah.
The umpiring, you know, how did that go for you?
Look, it was a good experience.
Yeah.
I forgot about that, yeah, that's true.
I'm glad I had a go at it.
Tough?
So tough. So much harder than playing. Like,
You were saying, because there's a lot of running, isn't there?
a lot of running.
What about
but-
that backward running?
Yeah, everything. The backward running, the concentrating. You can never switch off.
Yeah.
Like, whereas a player, you make a mistake, you miss a handball, or you fumble one, you take out your frustration on the guy, you smash him the next time you get
Correct,
him.
yeah.
But as an umpire, you make that mistake.
You can't blow the whistle just for
You can't have a redo.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? It's
And you're going to cop it too.
And the thing that was like, I only got to, you know, A grade amateurs, but the player, like how clever the players are at like selling free kicks, and
So you didn't notice it when you were playing?
well, it's just you become part of that environment.
Yeah,
But
and
then
then
when you're
you're-
Because you're
umpiring,
looking at yourself and the opponent
That's
next to you.
right.
You're not looking at everyone on the field.
like when the ball gets kicked in, and there's a pack of 5 guys going for the ball, and then one guy on one side, he lurches forward,
Yeah.
and then you think, did he get pushed?
So you just
And then you're like, did he get pushed? He didn't
Yeah.
get pushed. And then you're looking, you say,
Yeah,
there's the
yeah.
guy's arms. And you got to make that decision in a split second. So, yeah, I've got amazing respect for the umpires, but
Was,
just the timing wasn't
Bannister,
right.
was he?
He was umpiring,
He was
yeah.
umpiring at the
Yep.
time, yeah, because he was the other one that can't
Yeah.
play the.
Yeah, and he did well. I think he must have got to 100 games maybe. Of
think
Yeah.
you might have. Yeah.
But yeah, just physically the timing wasn't right for me when I did it. So.
But he did have a story. 2011, the final against West Coast. Can you tell us what happened?
yeah,
In your words.
In my words.
In your words.
Yeah, so when we played
I
West
found it a bit
Coast,
funny.
when we played West Coast over there, semi-final,
Semi-final, yeah.
it was obviously a very close, tense game. There's a couple of dubious decisions towards the end of the game, and Scotty McLaren was umpiring, and I got pretty agitated with him late in the game, and got fired up enough that
A little bit pissed off there.
a little bit pissed off at him after the game, and
Mouth guard.
yeah, and then come full circle, and he's my umpiring coach when I finally went into umpiring after I finished playing. So no, I had to apologise to him for.
But what did you do?
I think I might have thrown my mouth guard in his direction after the game, but no, it was. It's
in jest.
It's in. Well, yeah, it is a little
Was
bit.
it? We had Geelong the next week, we would have beaten them because we beat them in the year.
Yeah, beat them by 50 points.
That's
through
right,
the,
I remember that.
That's right.
Yeah.
They always say.
Would have made
all
the grand
players say
final.
that there was probably one of the lost chances there, because I reckon you had Geelong's measure the week after.
Yeah, we would have been right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
right
Geelong
there.
were a great team.
No,
They were.
So, but
They did.
Yeah.
you know what though,
The
like
butterfly effect.
The butterfly effect. Yeah.
it could have been Carlton Collingwood. You're
Yeah,
right.
could have been Carlton.
But the thing I'm most excited about now is no more what ifs with that bullshit game. You know what I mean?
That's
like
right.
I want the boys to do well now.
Of course.
No, that's-
You know what I mean? And
We're giving ourselves a big chance, man.
absolutely, you
The
know.
coaching, you know, like the players, they seem like to have clicked. And you might be right, it might not be this year, you know, they might take a couple of years, but at least now we look like
The
that.
foundation's there.
Yeah, we're one of these teams. Man.
It's building.
It's building,
Some
man.
building there. So yeah.
That programming as a supporter where you know you expect them to lose in close games, which
Yeah.
is just from what's happened the last few
Yeah.
years. I feel like that's almost
It is.
gone now.
I
You
feel
know,
A bit like
like-
that beaten dog, you know, like you're still a little bit scared that you're gonna get.
Yeah,
you're
that's
gonna
right.
get
You know what it
scared.
is now? You're not scared of opposition teams. You're scared of which Carlton's going to turn up.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I
Yeah.
always say.
Because you know they've got enough talent and they've
Oh yeah.
you know to beat anyone. They've
Does,
beaten
yeah.
Fremantle this year, and so no, they'll be right there.
And what do you do outside of footy now
That's it.
after your playing days?
Aside from being a full-time dad,
That is full-time
I
as
run
well.
my own electrical business.
Oh yeah, what's it called?
Electrica Group, so
Electrica Group.
ELECTRIKA.
Put it up
We're
along
gonna
the
put it up on
bottom.
the
Go to the website.
Give you a little plug.
Yeah, that's
And I'm a part owner in a couple of cafes as well. So
Oh, beautiful. Where?
yeah, one in Mont Albert,
Okay.
and then one in Blackburn, which is just about to open.
Might have to get down there.
We're
Get
gonna have to
down?
get down there.
Yeah.
We're all gonna get
Get
down
some
there.
players out there as
We're
well.
gonna get some players, all right.
Well,
I mean,
it's Jack Silvani's local cafe, so he's in there
Is
a
it?
bit. Yeah.
Carlton won't let us interview him. Come on, don't be stupid.
no, no, but what if we
We might
actually
get the T-Bird down there.
He lives locally from there.
We get the
The new
T-Bird
one in
down there.
Blackburn, he just lives around the corner from there. So you
We
can
might have to get the T-Bird down at the cafe, and then if Jack happens to be sitting there,
Then we'll get Jack. Yeah.
2 for 1, yeah.
But awesome. No, that's great. That's awesome.
yeah, no, that's good. That's
Fantastic.
good. So, no, man, it's been great, man. You're definitely one of our favourites when we're playing, especially being
Italian.
Italian, man. We love the Italians. As soon as the Italians come over to Carl, man, we gravitate to it.
I
We love it. We love it.
Wogs turn the cogs like it's
Walks in the cogs on.
Actually, we'll ask you, what's your favourite meal? Oh, there could be a million of them, but what's your go-to as an Italian?
Well, I had spaghetti marinara about half an hour ago. It's not too bad.
Just, yeah,
No, I built a new pizza oven in at home, so proper pizza oven in the backyard. So I love
wood.
proper
Yeah,
wood
it's got
fire
a
pizza oven. So love cooking pizzas for the girls on a Friday night.
That's
So
sexy.
So we invited, or?
of course, the more the merrier.
Just snuck our way into the cafe and everything, mate. I love
That's
it, I
great.
love it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
that's
great
it.
work.
Nah, thanks, man. We appreciate it. The
No
number
worries.
44.
Love it.
We appreciate you playing for Carlton.
Yeah.
No worries. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate your support.
Playing for that
I got
monogram.
to feel the love, man. This is the
Fucking
best.
oath,
Oh,
man.
no,
It's
love.
fucking.
Get a
Hey, we
run.
get to watch them every week. How could you hate him? Look at the smile on him, mate. How could you hate Carrazzo, mate? It's seriously awesome. Yeah.
Right, so now, right, we always finish off like this. Now, so you played for Carlton. You played, what, 194?
194.
194 games. Best and fairest, but now we can put this on top. Now you are a legend of the jumper punch.
I love it.
I love it, man. So thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks, boys. It was bloody awesome. Thanks for having me.
Paul
Thanks,
appreciates it as
No
well.
worries.
So,
Cheers.
thank you very much.
Lots of
Go
fun.
Blues!
Go Baggers.